update deserved to be played in its entirety. So here it comes. This is Schefter.
We also continue to wait for an answer from one Aaron Rodgers, who very easily could have dismissed all the speculation that's going on around him with a simple statement of, I'll see you at training camp, or I'll be there on opening day. And instead, we haven't gotten that. Because the fact of the matter is, the truth is, he doesn't want to be in Green Bay. He hasn't planned to be back in Green Bay. Now, we'll see whether the Packers and him can come up with some sort of compromise that can lure him back there. But I don't believe, and I think Aaron Rodgers knows this, that he wants to be back there, nor plans to be back there at this time. He just hasn't come out and said it. Look, the fact of the matter is he loves his coaches, he loves his teammates, he loves many of the people that he's worked with, but not everybody. And so this obviously continues to set up as the storyline of the summer. We'll see how the Packers handle it. But the one thing I feel very comfortable and confident in saying is Aaron Rodgers does not want to play there anymore. The question is whether they can convince him to do it. And I don't know how that is going to work out.
So this obviously sends things in a vastly different direction than much of the sensibility has been the last few days. And I underlined two words that Schefter used. He says he doesn't want to play there. That's one thing. He then says he doesn't plan to play there. That, of course, is something else entirely. And the Jeffs are there. And Mike Tannenbaum, I'll start with you here. As a former general manager yourself who's in these places, is 13 days from now a deadline? Do you believe we will know one way or the other with some resolution how this is going to go?
No, Greeny. Until we get to the opening season, until we get to that first week, I don't think anything changes because Green Bay has to be convinced that he's going to miss regular season games for them to even consider shifting their thinking. Because, again, if they're going to ever consider trading him, it's going to be for draft choices next April. So they want to take as much time as possible. Really, the closest precedent we have is going back to 2011 when Carson Palmer missed half the season and he was ultimately traded from the Bengals to the Raiders. So this has quite a while to play out.
It could, and it's a good point. And the Palmer, I understand the Palmer comparison because of the circumstances, but his was so different. He wanted out of a team because they were so bad, and he felt they'd never get good. He had no chance to win there. This is a Super Bowl caliber team. Does that factor into the thinking on either side at all?
Yeah, I mean, if I'm Aaron Rodgers, the best chance for me to win a championship this year is in Green Bay. Now, maybe, as Adam alluded to, is there a compromise? Do they shorten his contract and he plays 2021 in Green Bay? And again, if I'm Green Bay, and I was there with Darrelle Revis a decade ago, Greeny, I have to do everything within reason to solve this, and I would never consider trading the player unless I felt like he was going to miss a lot of regular season games. So I think it's in both sides' best interest to find some middle ground.
All right, let me go to Jeff Darlington next, if I can, because, Jeff, there is a financial piece to this that I think people have some sense of an idea of what it is, but just how significant it actually is.
Well, Greeny, and that's what I keep coming back to here. Like, I understand Aaron Rodgers not wanting to go to work anymore. It reminds me of The Office Space when Peter Gibbons is like, yeah, I'm just not going to work there anymore. It doesn't work that way when you consider some of the ramifications from a salary standpoint. And we can talk about like the numbers that are obvious. Okay, we got a base salary of $14.7 million. We've got a roster bonus of $6.8 million that he would forfeit if he didn't show up. Then we've got the workout bonuses he's already missed out on, $500,000, another $100,000 for the mini camp that he missed. So we're up to upwards of $22 million. There's another $1.75 million that if he misses 35 training camp practices that he would miss out on. Those are unforgivable fines there. And then another $11.5 million in signing bonus that the Packers could go after if they wanted to. So like, I get it. Aaron Rodgers doesn't want to play for the Packers anymore. I guess I'm still not understanding what he's going to do instead, because just not showing up for work doesn't work in this world. Unlike Peter Gibbons, Aaron Rodgers will be out of a lot of money.
Yeah, at some point it does start adding up to real money, even if you're Aaron Rodgers, which brings me to Jeff Saturday and what you have been saying since this whole thing began, Jeff.
Yeah, he's going to be a Packer, and he's going to play as a Packer this season, and that's just the way it is. This is what grown folks do. You don't like your boss? Suck it up. You still got to go to work, right? Like that's what a lot of people end up having to do. He likes his teammates. He likes his coaching staff. He wants to be there. And to Tannenbaum's point, This is his best opportunity to win a Super Bowl. Make no mistake about Aaron Rodgers. Whatever you think about how he's doing the business side of it, this is a competitive player when he hits the field. He won the MVP last year. He wants to show that he's still in that caliber. He understands what's at stake. This guy's not getting any younger, right? I mean, he's in his upper 30s already. The team is ready to strike right now. All of those things come into it's now. You got to play for the Packers. And so as I've looked at this thing, nothing has changed for me. If this thing didn't get done way back in the spring, it's not getting done. He's going to play as a Packer this season.
Jeff, you made another point, Jeff, Saturday, that I thought was interesting in our meeting this morning, where Schefter is saying, well, he could have ended all this by saying, well, I plan to be there. You said that.
Yeah, he could have sold all the stuff in Green Bay and been like, I ain't going back to Green Bay no matter what, right? I mean, he could have drawn a line in the sand on either side. So as much as I appreciate what Schefter's saying on this side, he could have easily said, house is already sold, cars have already been shipped back to California. I ain't going back to Green Bay, right? This isn't going to happen. He did not put that in the universe as well. So as much as it is on one side for Schefter, for me, it's the other way. He could have definitely made it clear he wasn't going to be a Packer. He hasn't made that stance either. He's going to be a Packer. I've said it for 4 months. It's not going to change. Whether he likes it or not, this is what he's going to do because he knows it's in his best interest.
Greeny, there's another X factor here. If Green Bay starts off 0-3 and Jordan Love looks terrible, that gives Aaron Rodgers immense leverage. And it may be, hey, I'll come back,
yes,
but now you got to shorten the contract by 2 years, which is something Green Bay doesn't want to do, but it may give him the best chance to salvage this season, get to the offseason, get 2 or 3 first-round picks, and then go draft his successor. So if he misses regular season games,
yes, sir,
the eyes of the football world will be on Jordan Love's performance.
Absolutely. All right, we will see. Maybe in 13 days we will have some resolution to the situation, and maybe we will be even further away from the answer than we are right now. We'll have more football as we go, but we got to get to the game of the night.
Han, you might be right. Can I just hear you say that?
About what?
What do you mean about what? About him? All along I've been saying it. I just can't see him sitting out. I see him coming back to Green Bay. And you kept saying no.
Yeah.
Are you sure it's no? Are you sure? I'll tell you what. Before you even answer me, let's do Straight Talk, by the way, Straight Talk Wireless. And let's hear Adam Schefter, who we all trust, right?
Yeah.
Pretty much a voice of authority when it comes to reporting of the NFL and some NBA too, by the way. So here's Schefter.
Yeah, I trust him in the
on
NFL.
The Adam Schefter podcast on Aaron Rodgers' situation right now. He doesn't want to play for the Packers, but will he?
The fact of the matter is, the truth is, he doesn't want to be in Green Bay. He hasn't planned to be back in Green Bay. Now we'll see whether the Packers and him can come up with some sort of compromise that can lure him back there. But I don't believe, and I think Aaron Rodgers knows this, that he wants to be back there, nor plans to be back there at this time. He just hasn't come out and said it. Look, the fact of the matter is he loves his coaches, he loves his teammates, he loves many of the people that he's worked with, but not everybody. We'll see how the Packers handle it. But the one thing I feel very comfortable and confident in saying is Aaron Rodgers does not want to play there anymore. The question is whether they can convince him to do it, and I don't know how that is going to work out.
So that's Straight Talk, brother. Straight Talk Wireless. No contract, no compromise. Schefter's saying there. What we all feel. He doesn't really want to play there, but he might have to.
See, the reason now I'm going to woke up this morning, and last night I go to bed, and Aaron Rodgers is not going to be there. But then I wake up again this morning, and after listening to Adam and sleeping on it and thinking about it, I'm saying to myself, okay, I know he doesn't want to be there. Adam knows he doesn't want to be there, and there's others that know I don't like the people in the building. I love my teammates. I love my coaches. I just don't like the people in the building. The word compromise.
Mm-hmm.
How am I going to compromise with Aaron Rodgers to get him to play for us because we desperately need him? We tried everything. We tried it all so far over the last several months to convince him to come in workout, training camp, mini camps and OTAs. He refused to do so. But there's a compromise that's there. What's the compromise? That compromise could get him to come back. Is the compromise, I'm going to fully guarantee you over the next 3 years, $200 million. I'm going to also say that this is what we're going to do in terms of Mark Murphy and Brian Gutekunst, that they will not come on the practice field whatsoever. You will not see them in the locker room.
Out of sight, out of mind. Right?
Out of sight, out of mind. Is that the type of compromise that could potentially work in their favor to get Aaron Rodgers to come back. So that gets me to thinking, what's the compromise? Because there is a compromise. You don't give everything at once. You hold something back. And I'm sure when they went out to the West Coast or wherever Aaron Rodgers has been this offseason, they've laid all their cards on the table, but they always kept one in their back pocket just in case. You know that? They're going to keep that right in their back pocket. So that's why I'm like, well, maybe there's something there. Because when Adam says those sort of things, your ears go up. And you got to listen to that because he's dialed in. He knows what he's talking about. He's not like some of these other dudes on some of these networks that just throw it against the wall and hope it stick. That's not the case with him. He's not making things up. He doesn't sleep. The man doesn't sleep. Like his phones, I feel bad for his wife because his phone is next to him all night long. As soon as it goes off, Adam is on, he's on TV talking about it at 6 a.m. in the morning. So it's like there's something that's there that's telling me Adam is leaning toward him playing for Green Bay this year, even though Aaron Rodgers doesn't want to, but the Packers feel like they got something in their hip pocket that they're willing to give him. Yeah, so that's why I kind of changed. I'm following Adam's lead at this point.
Yeah, and that's the same thing. When I heard him say what he said, and, again, we had Dominique Foxworth in the other day, and he and I both were getting that same vibe. Like, it's just hard to imagine that he's legit going to sit out.
But it's not him. It's the team coming to him with whatever it is in their back pocket.
Be.
And
hat in hand. What do you need? Like, seriously, you'd have to beg him to come back because of where they are as a team. I mean, we're going to, in a couple of minutes, talk about windows closing for some franchises. If he doesn't play, whatever their window was for getting to conference championships and maybe getting one more Super Bowl, that's closed now. You're resetting everything in Green Bay. So if I am their leadership, I'm absolutely going back to him, hat in hand. What do you want? What will it take? What do you need? What can we do to fix this in some way? And then wait for him to give you those answers, knowing he's not going to give me those answers now. But as we get closer to training camp, as you said, when you start to smell it in the air, that it's time to get back on the field, there's a part of him that's going to say, I need to be there, because there is an ego to sports. And when you're the best at what you do and some other people start doing it and they get all the shine and you're being forgotten, you don't want that.
It's not even
you
about,
want a chance to win while you can.
But it's
and
not
this
about
is a chance for him
it's
to
not
win.
about others getting shine, and that's not what it's about. It's about me.
You're not part of the discussion anymore. You're forgotten.
Yeah, no, you're still part of the discussion because I just won the MVP, so I'm gonna always be part of the discussion.
But not in the way you want to be.
No, I'm gonna be part of
all
the
right,
discussion.
Fine. Maybe that's not accurate.
So,
but it's still, you still want to be out there competing.
The problem is not with the coaching staff.
Clearly.
The problem's not with my
So
teammates.
let him just deal with Matt LaFleur.
The problem is the front office.
Upstairs, right.
So how do we get that to go away? Well, they're not going to fire him.
Put yourself
You're
in
not
this situation.
firing him.
Put yourself in this situation. All right, they're not right. They're not firing him. But what would you say, what would be your, demand? What would be your compromise? Like, you brought up compromise. How would you handle it if it's you? You already talked about the money, so let's guarantee the money. That's not a problem.
Well,
easy to do.
I've been in a similar situation, not quite Aaron Rodgers, but when I was with the Bucks and I was with Coach Groot and them, and for the most part, I wouldn't talk to John at all. I had Coach Richard Mann, and
we have video of you talking to him on the sideline.
Yeah, but that's whatever. I mean, I don't know if it was talking or screaming, whatever. Yeah, right. But for the most part, like I said, I wouldn't talk to him.
Yeah.
And because I didn't want to deal with him. I was under contract. I'm coming in. I'm going to do my job. I'm going home. I don't, all the kiki and ha-ha and the smiling and all that, miss me with that. You go over there and deal with them. And so one time at practice, he was trying to explain something about a route and stuff. Me being me, I go, why are you talking to me? Why don't you explain to him what you want me to do? And he'll explain to me. And I walked away. That's kind of where Aaron Rodgers needs to be when it comes to Brian Gutekunst and Mark Murphy.
Yeah.
Is y'all go over there, I'll deal with Matt LaFleur and deal with the X's and O's. I don't need you to talk to me about nothing. My contract is done. There's no need for you to be here.
Don't ask me to do anything.
Because usually general managers and front office people are at practice, right? They're like standing on the sideline,
arms
looking,
folded.
folded. They have nothing to do with the game plan. They have nothing to, they're just standing around being in the way.
Aren't they done? A general manager's pretty much done by week 3.
No.
Because you still have
No, they're evaluating players still because they
still
got to
have the
bring
trade
guys
deadline,
in,
I
cut
guess.
the guys. Some GMs and personnel people help the coaches make decisions depending on help them make decisions on who should be playing, why they shouldn't be playing. Some, not all, but they don't need to talk to Aaron Rodgers. If you need to do that, look out your window at the practice field or wait till the coaches come into their meeting and watch it on tape. Don't, because I'm telling you, if it's hostile like we think it is, and it's a real problem, he doesn't want to see them.
Now, the only problem I have with that is that if you want to be involved in decision-making or at least be included in decision-making, how do you do that if you don't want to see or talk to the front office guys? Is that Matt will come to me or we'll discuss and then Matt will go to you? Is that what Matt?
Figure it
does
out.
Matt LaFleur now become the middleman, basically?
Figure it out.
Yeah.
It's not that difficult.
Right. Well, it shouldn't be. And if I'm Murphy, if I'm Gutekunst, I'm like, all right, whatever it takes. Like if that's what it takes, fine.
But
because I'd rather have that life than the life without Aaron Rodgers.
But Aaron Rodgers doesn't have time in training camp to worry about the personnel. That's up to the scouts, the general manager, the president of the team.
But
the
wasn't
head
that
coach.
always the issue? Isn't that the issue that he never felt included in some decisions that were made that impacted?
Well, that was more of free agency in the draft.
Yeah.
Allegedly that because of Jordan Love versus a player that can
the
help
Jordy
the
Nelson
team.
thing, like there was a
Jordy
couple
Nelson
other
was at
stuff.
the end though, man. Come on,
Doesn't
let's
matter.
be honest with each other.
That and
they should have gone to him just to let him know
right
that we were probably going to let Jordy go. They could go to him and say that, but Jordy was at the end at that point. It wasn't like Jordy was Jordy his first 6 years, 7 years in the league.
Right. Now, how about this other part? Does this benefit Devontae Adams to have Aaron Rodgers come back, knowing you've got free agency coming up?
No, because we already know what Devontae Adams can do. And we already know if he doesn't have the statistical numbers, something that you care about so much, that it's because of the product that's on the field with the quarterback. That's why he wouldn't have the numbers that he would have with Aaron Rodgers. We know that as analysts, we know that as personnel, front office people, that the receiver is not the reason that the numbers are where they're at. It's the quarterback not being able to get him the football.
Yeah, I just meant that having Aaron there is sort of like, somebody that can take up for you. They already know his value.
Well, you can try to play that game if you want to, but it won't go
But now
well.
I got this guy here, and he's saying, I want this guy, so whatever it takes, make sure he stays here.
Yeah, but if they're smart and his numbers of production is down,
if they're smart,
if they are smart,
quite the
and
preface.
the numbers are down, then they would realize that it's because of the quarterback.
Yeah.
And they would still take care of him the way that they're supposed to.
Now, this is something we were just discussing off air, and you said because of the quarterback. You were watching a couple of throws, and you were asking, why does a quarterback get the credit for like a Hail Mary?
Yeah.
A Hail Mary, like I understand, like the Kyler Murray throw to
Man, that's all. It's both. It was both of them. Because Kyler
he had
Murray,
to get free.
He had to get free. He didn't come to a full stop. He just baseball throw.
Mm-hmm.
And D Hop over
catch.
like however many people went up and got it, monkey manned them and took it from him.
Yeah, incredible catch.
Yeah, so
but you were asking me, and I still I look at it as it's still amazing to think a quarterback can throw a ball to where no one is, but have it on the timing, the trajectory, all that stuff.
All he has to do is get it in the end zone and not out the back of the end zone.
He's putting it in a place where you aren't there yet.
No, most of the time, not most of the time, all the time. There's that you probably think that they just run down there and get into a pile.
No, I don't.
Or okay, so you don't.
No,
you know that's a design play.
No, I don't think it's just I mean, there are sometimes a guy, like once it's broken, somebody just posts up and tries
No, but everybody is in that cluster because it's designed that way. It's you go here, you go here, spacing. There's somebody in the front, there's two people on the side, there's another guy in the front, and there's the jumper.
Yeah.
And they're taught to push those guys out of the way so that the jumper can go up and get the football.
Mm-hmm.
And then what you do is maybe you have 3 or 4 on one side, and you have another guy coming as the late chaser from the backside to get the spill just in case the ball is batted back into the field of play. That's kind of what it is. My thing is everybody always be like, oh my God, whoa, oh God, what an amazing throw. It's like, no, man. That dude had to elevate over everybody, grabbing his arm, pulling on his jersey, snatching him down, and he still came down with it. He still comes down.
The catch is a huge part of it. I guess I'm not thinking of that as much as you. I guess Hail Mary is more like that. I'm thinking more of just like any deep throws.
No, I was talking
on
about
a
the Hail
route.
Mary.
Yeah, you're
Not
talking more of
yeah.
that kind of thing. All right,
I'm
during
not
the
talking
break, I
about
wasn't
pitch and
thinking
catch.
about that.
Aaron Rodgers is like when Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Drew Brees to a degree when he was younger. Those dudes, Matt Ryan, they're throwing the ball to you. It's like handing it to you. It's so precise.
Yeah.
That's what Vinny Testaverde in 1998.
Well, you to the back pylon all the time was just magic.
It's like a handoff. It's so just like it's graceful. It works. This is what we drew up. It's just easy. You know, it's a 40-yard laser, but it's like you standing next to a guy and he's handing you the football.
Yeah, I don't know. Again, I guess I misunderstood what you were saying when you said Hail Mary. I was thinking about it as it's something completely different because I do feel like the timing is great. Convince?
Yeah.
Well,
you had your mind made up to.
You didn't convince me of anything.
You had your mind made up to go after me and tell me that I was wrong.
Yeah, until I listened to what you were saying. I got to do better at listening instead of talking. But right now I'll talk. Keyshawn, J. Will Zubin, presented by Progressive Insurance. Guests on the show, join us on the Goodyear Hotline.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin are on the road to training camp. Count down the days to the football and getting you ready for the season.